Facebook. Oh, okay. No, it's fine. We're
No?
live.
What
We're
the-
live. What up, everybody? We're late, but we're live.
Hey,
It
y'all.
is another, oh, I was going to say Thirsty Thursday. Herbal Tea Thursday. Herbal Tea Thursday.
OMG. You got your
But
herbal
maybe,
tea?
I got water. I don't have herbal tea. Maybe because I am thirsty. Maybe that's what it is. I am thirsty. So cheers
Yeah.
on that.
I
Ching
have
ching.
my herbal tea. I got
I
an
got some.
ashwagandha and chamomile tea mix because I need to go straight to sleep after this. So I'm on the chamomile ashwagandha. Y'all, chamomile is really good for stress and anxiety relief. Ashwagandha
Mm.
is really good for hormone balancing. Okay. Both combinations definitely help with stress reduction and relaxation of the body, the muscles, the mind. And so it's a perfect combo for that evening. So I'm turning up on the ashwagandha and the chamomile tonight. In my
Yeah.
herbal tea tumbler, yo, my healing, my journey, y'all check it out. 4vibrations.com. I got tumblers, I got mugs. Y'all go get you one so you can cha-ching toast with me and Shireen on Thursday for herbal tea. So go on and get it. Go on and get it. So, Shireen, you said Thirsty Thursday, and it made me think about I used to go to something called Thirsty Thursday back in the day. You ever went to anything that was called Thirsty Thursday?
No, I don't think so. But
Oh my God.
what were you going to?
It was I'm gonna say it was a black-owned restaurant.
Okay,
It
okay,
was in
get down with
Florida.
that.
We used to do Thirsty Thursdays. I feel like it was called Skyline Sports and Grill. Shout out to Duval. Yo,
Okay.
those were the times back in the day. They had the oysters, they had the wings,
Mm, mhm.
they had this what was it? Oh man, the Tina Fey shrimp. Oh my goodness, it was so good. I used to get the fries. Whew, man, good live music sometimes, and then the DJ brought it out. It was like a grown folks kind of happy hour. They called it Thirsty Thursday.
Mm.
Took me back on a good Thirsty Thursday, but it's a herbal tea Thursday.
I feel like Thirsty Thursday has been used for many, many different things. But yeah, I don't know. I feel I'm hungry and I'm a little thirsty.
Gotcha.
But I'm gonna check us in because you are on that drink and we don't want you falling asleep. And plus, I'm tired and I'm hungry too. So,
Not that.
one, I'm gonna check us right on in. It is the card that I pulled was what was your favorite activity as a child? And I think my favorite activity to play as a child was actually hide and go seek. I think I've said this before. Did we pull this card before?
I
Hide
don't
and
know, but I
and
know I definitely like. I used to like hide and go seek with my cousins in the dark. So like at nighttime or like
mm,
outside when it's dark outside, that was the best
mhm.
time for hide and seek. Or we played it in the house. Um, and so closets, behind doors, all the different ways that you can hide. So hide and go seek was definitely a good one, Shireen. That's a good one. Favorite activity you said?
Mhm.
Ooh, woo! Um, it's a tie for me. I enjoyed as a child. One, I love creating dances with my cousins. So we used to make dance routines of like to Aaliyah. I can't even remember. Me and my cousin did one to the Spice Girls before, but we used to create dances together. Me and all of my cousins create dance routines. Or I used to like when we played mall outside. That was fun. And I used to love when we to the Boys and Girls Club together. And be able to like that sense of community as a child was just amazing with all the different things that we were exposed to at the Boys and Girls Club. So all three of those had the same level of fun for me as a child.
What was mall?
Played them all like we would go shopping. So like the leaves on the trees would be our money, and we would go
Okay.
different places. So like what do you call the thing? Like the cash register or like the counter to go shopping would
Yeah.
be, what do you call that outside? Like the air conditioned thing. You know the air conditioned thing outside,
Oh,
the
like
unit, the
yeah,
system.
yeah, yeah. That big,
Would
yeah,
just
yeah.
stand
Yeah, did you
outside by
see
itself.
what's right?
Yeah, they'll be behind that and selling stuff like that. So it'd be like somebody be behind there and you just pay for some clothes and you toss out the leaves and pick them off the thing. So yeah. So we would just play
Mall.
mall, be in the shop, maybe at the food court, buy things while we're outside. So we played mall outside.
That's a different one for us. I never heard of playing. I mean, like in the house, but mall outside. Why not? And you know what? Money doesn't grow off of trees. So, all right. Well, let's get into the wellness
First,
girl.
Shireen, we didn't even tell them who we are. So it's your first time joining Herbal Tea Thursday, y'all. It's your Healthy Habits and Lifestyle Coach, Joe Bonnie, host of the Empire Place, Empire Lives podcast. Shireen, let them
Mhm.
know.
It is Shireen Simon, the tired and hungry girl, on Thirsty and Herbal Tea Thursday, the 29th of August, going into a long weekend over here in Canada. I am the founder of Perspective Studio Productions, where I am now. We are late because I just had a client roll it out. Um, blackprint.com, where we host products from Black businesses from all over, as well as the host of Voices and Vibes. But I have not dropped an episode in forever.
But there's an episode for you to go check out if you have not
there
checked out an
there
episode
is
on Voices
previous episodes that you can check out on all your podcasting platforms, however you take in your content. However you take in your content. And actually, let me be more specific, because I did pick up some statistics from the podcast movement last week, and something I listened to yesterday. And they said not to just say wherever you catch your podcasts. Listen, go listen on Apple Podcasts and go listen on Spotify, right? Go and listen on those two platforms and specifically tap into Blackprint.com, right? It's just a play off of blackprint.com, but Blackprint.com on YouTube. Follow us there. You'll actually see that I went live today and live yesterday with some behind the scenes as I was prepping with my clients and myself. So you'll catch some of those as well. Um, Tap in.
I love it. And when
Mm.
you tap in on Spotify, you can leave a comment as well. I heard that's a new feature on Spotify. But also
Mm.
leave a rating. So follow, leave a rating after you check out an episode, and support both of our podcasts on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Give us a rating, show some love. And
Absolutely.
guess what, Nayetta? I absolutely love that. Did you find like serenity in your grandmother's garden, like just to go look at it, if that was like your favorite thing? Like, what was the activity? Did you lay down in the garden? Did you just go and look at everything?
Mm.
What
That's one
was
activity I used to do as a child. I used to actually just lay down. We did the dance thing too that you mentioned. I meant to say that, but I used to lay down and just watch the clouds and kind of like imagine what they are. Because sometimes you can see like the little shapes in the clouds as they're slowly floating by. I have literally fallen asleep. That's how you know trust. When you were a child, you would just like fall asleep in the park watching the clouds go by and not have no concerns in the world. But it looks like Nayetta said she was walking, just walking to her. She's currently walking. That's cool. That is very cool. But let's get into the wins for the week. Let's get into
what's
wins
up?
for the week.
Oh shoot. Okay, wins for the week, wins for the week, wins for the
Mhm.
week. Y'all, this is the part of the show where we want to shout out your wellness win for the week. So what's your wellness win? Make sure you leave the comment whether you
Yeah.
watching live or you catching the replay. Shireen, what you got for
Mhm.
your wellness win this week?
Honestly, I just watched. I think the wellness one is just watching people come in the studio and drop their podcasts, because I'm tired. I look tired because I was up late setting up, going crazy setting up. But then I watched the final product, and even I watched the final product, and it's like grown folks having conversations, like grown folks conversations. It's grown folks conversation. That is so good. It's just so good. And every time I see someone do it, um, their joy that they have, it makes me so happy. Like even this week, my son dropped a podcast, his first podcast, my son and his friend, and they got into like even them, they just talk about how having faith in God and how it has enriched their lives, like, and just watching everybody just get on and express themselves, and when they're done, they're like, oh, that was so good, I can't believe we just did that. And so I'm always recording, and they're like, did you stop? Every time. Everybody, did you stop? But I'm still recording. But it's the joy um, that I get to see and I get to witness. That alone brings me joy. So there's that. But even hearing the conversations. Excuse me, sorry, because it's like just very mature conversations that they want to share with somebody else out there. And when I'm listening to it, I know because I'm paying attention, other people are going to benefit from hearing these conversations, right? Other people are going to be like, yes, oh, I needed that. Yes. Some of it is so deep, like some of it is so deep. So I just get joy being able to sit here and help everybody. As I was setting up late last night, I was so tired. I was talking to my videographer because I couldn't figure something out. And he's like, well, you're producing it, Shereen. I was like, I'm producing it. That's what I'm doing. He's like, well, you're producing the show. Yes, I'm producing the show. So it's like, there's two folds. There's the joy that I get to witness and the fact that I'm freaking producing it. Like win upon win upon win upon win. It just makes you feel good. So this extra tiredness that you see in my face, it's worth it. It's worth it, right? So that's my win, man. Just helping other people get their message out there and amplifying their voice. That's my win. Helping them. That's it.
I love it.
What you
That's
say?
dope. I think that's dope. I like it. I mean, that's the essence of podcasting, right? Just having
Mhm.
conversations that people can benefit from, have value, or even be entertained and tap into. So I like it. I like it a lot.
Mhm.
I'm happy that you are at a place that you're having these people come into your studio and you're able to produce their content and you're able to see them start their podcast or have their first episode, because that was everything that you envisioned when you first started it. And it's been some months and you continued on the journey, and now you're starting to see some of the fruits of your labor and the vision come to fruition. So I'm glad that you were able to get that as a win this week. I'm gonna have to say, for me, it was the moment where I had a pre-recording this week. It was the other day. Um, and actually it was two pre-recordings this week that I had, and the people were really just excited about sharing their journey on the Empowered Plates, Empowered Lives podcast, and whether it was their first time or they've done things before, but this podcast, this space just felt so right for them to be
Mhm.
on, and they felt in alignment with it. And then other people just being grateful to be on the podcast to share their journey on another aspect, one for business purposes, but another just having that space and being excited to do it. And it just made me realize that, which was a win for me, is I remember, and it's coming on almost a year when I first launched my podcast, and episode 51
Mm.
dropped yesterday. And it made me realize I was worried and concerned that people wouldn't want to come on the podcast to share their journey of strength about endometriosis or polycystic ovary syndrome, adenomyosis or fibroids, or any type of healing journey, and just be transparent and vulnerable and kind of navigate that with me for value to be able to empower other people. And I was like, what if people don't want to be there? What if I run out of people? And it doesn't seem like that's been the case lately. It's just been a consistent flow of pre-recordings and then recording for the podcast and people feeling like the space is right. And it's just exciting to know that I'm on the road to the next milestone of 100, but for people to still be vibing with me, after 50 episodes. And it feels great because it was definitely a place for guests to come and share their journey, not just for me to talk about my journey. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So that was my win, being able to just sit in that and realize that what I doubted is definitely not even what I am actually experiencing with my own journey on the podcast. And I just can't wait to see how I evolve and how the podcast evolves and the space continues to grow, just by having people willing to show up and heal and show their healing, because that's not an easy thing to do. So that's going to be my wellness win for this week, Shereen.
I think just like being able to, first of all, just freeing our voice is just such a beautiful thing. Um, freeing our voice is just such a beautiful thing, and having other people free their voice is just such a beautiful thing. And I've been just diving into the analytics of podcasting lately, and I'm going to start sharing that on my platform, on my Instagram platform. Sorry, I got a yawn. Oh, oh, excuse me. Sorry. Oh, child. And all I'm saying is like, it is growing. It is growing. And just tapping into like the analytics, people are either um the discovery is something that we need to look into, like how to get discovered. And I think as we as podcasting becomes bigger, SEO for podcasting is going to be so important, search engine optimization, um, because people need to hear some of these conversations that we're having. They want to hear the conversations, but they may not know how to discover us. And one of the things that I picked up, even up to yesterday when I was tapped into a webinar about the analytics, was that women actually need to listen to podcasts. It's growing, but it's slower than the other demographics, and just depending on the type of topics. But there's an opportunity there for women to really tap in. So even if you're not anybody who's podcasting or just seeing this, sometimes people are really just kind of hearing about podcasts through friends, and discovery of podcasts is not always that easy. But also women are not listening as much, and it just depends on like what the platform is on, right? So um it's growing steadily, but it's still slower. So there's a lot of opportunity is what that really tells me. There's a lot of opportunity for women to kind of tap into the conversations that we're having. um but it's just such a beautiful thing. So girl.
It is. So if
Hmm.
you aren't subscribed to our YouTube channel, now is the time to tap the subscribe button. The links are in the description. So if you're watching on Black Print Com or you're watching on For Vibration, you can see in our show notes where you can be able to subscribe to both of our channels. And so that way you should also tap that notification bell so you never miss opportunity when we drop a video, a short, a podcast episode, a live stream starts to hit. So we would really love if you would make sure that you are subscribed to our channels.
I'm gonna say on
What
top
you
of
gonna
that,
say on top of that, Shireen?
I'm gonna say, tell somebody about our podcast. Tell a friend about our podcast. Just knowing that that's one way that people are finding out about us. If you're here, you're watching, even if you're watching on either channels, Giovanni's just letting you know to come on and follow us and subscribe, if you are interested in the content that's being shared. But also tell somebody. Tell somebody that you heard something, you learned something, you seen something out there, so that they can tap in as well and get to understand what kind of conversations we are having as women. Um, yeah, all I see is smiles, girl. All I see is you smiling in the camera.
Girl, because Spencer thought he was slick. Did you hear him barking?
I heard a couple of barks, but it's nothing
Yes,
that
so I
loud.
already had the window, the shades closed, girl. He has learned how to crack the shades, the
Mm,
blinds at the bottom, and he saw the lady walking and was still talking. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a smart doodle over here. Now let's
mm,
get into it, though, Shireen. I'm excited. You come with a lot of wisdom. You don't evolve from the podcast movement. So
absolutely.
speaking of the podcast movement, we have um been talking recently about live experiences.
Wait, hold
And
on. I'm having a little technical difficulties. I'm trying to hit the show and it's not showing anything. It's weird. Oh, there it is. I try to hit tell a friend to tell a friend. It's not. There you go. All right, Giovanni. I didn't mean to cut you off, but for some reason, it's not. It's actually I'm hitting it. So if you see your messages come up very randomly, it's not working for me. All right, girl. I did not mean to interrupt. I just thought something was going on. Keep
it's
going.
okay. We're just on live experiences, y'all. So what do
Mhm.
you look for live experiences? What do you enjoy when you are I guess in a live experience type of environment. Like, what do you like about live experiences? What activities, what part of the experience do you enjoy most? That is what we're talking about today. So you can go ahead and keep the chat warmed up. Talk to us about live experiences, and this could be virtual live experiences or in-person live experiences. And you can differentiate. You can tell us what's one thing you like about virtual live experiences, like the one me and Shireen are doing right now. These are a virtual live experience. What do you like about these? And then what do you like about in-person experiences, live experiences? And that's what we're talking about. Shireen, what you want to hit on first? In person or virtual? Oh, okay. What do you like about in-person experiences?
So I was gonna say the same thing.
You like in
But
person? I
Naya
can
said,
see that.
hmm,
I can
yeah,
see that.
I prefer in person. I don't. Sorry, I cannot put your message up, Naya. It's not just not working for me. Um, so let's play in the activity playhouse is saying that there you go. She likes connecting with people. 100%. I'm with you on the live experiences there. I prefer live over virtual. Virtual is cool in the sense that you can speak to anyone anywhere in the world, right? And like quickly, like there's just nothing holding you back. There's nothing holding you back from developing a relationship with somebody new across waters. So I love that about virtual. For me though, I like the in-person part because I have two folds. Like I just came back from the podcast movement and I get to see like the type of equipment that they're using or new equipment or just see how things could run, right? And it makes me think of potentially building out live shows, right, for myself or for clients and what I could potentially, oh, sorry, my hat's all weird. What I could potentially bring, I know I'm just weird today, what I could potentially bring to clients, right? How do you improve the live experience, make it pleasurable for everyone? But there's something just different. You can hang about after the live experience and talk to the speakers. Um, you can weigh in the audience. You can get on the mic at times when they're passing the mic around and share your perspective on the topic. You can connect with new people because sometimes virtually people are on there and they're quiet, right? And sometimes just one or two people might speak, but you don't actually get to know people as well. So the networking is not as prime as in person. So definitely there's so many benefits. I have different views, like from this as a studio owner, but also as a podcaster, just the connections. And then you can think about like how you can work with that person. You start diving a little deeper afterwards. So the networking is always prime, prime, prime. And I see the activity playhouse says she doesn't even like going, but it's cool when she gets her feet in the building, which makes sense because sometimes, sometimes you can talk yourself out of doing anything. So there's that. And I can't hit on our shoots. Oh, there it is. Oh,
So while
all right.
you're pulling that comment up and getting touchy with the tech over there, I think for me about in-person experiences, I absolutely enjoy meeting people because vibes matter. Like in-person vibes matter because you really get a sense of like their personality. And you
Mm,
get to interact with like the non-verbal cues as well as the verbal cues too. So
yeah.
that's a big thing for me. I think being able to be in direct flow of someone's energy and vibe matters a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
To even do I want to work with you or do I not want to work with you? What I like, what I don't like, how something made me feel. I typically can get a better understanding or a gauge of that when it's in person. Um, some of the activities I enjoy with in-person activities, I love when people create safe spaces and comfortability with like music, like starting with music and everybody just groove into a good vibe of music, kind of dancing, moving around. It's such a great way to reduce like the anxiety of being someplace different and the awkwardness possibly and the discomfort that you might be in this other space. But it opens you up to receive whatever it is that you might really receive being in a part of that experience. So I like having like the music or the dancing and kind of moving in a space of getting ready to receive something. So I definitely like in-person experiences, but I love that with virtual experiences, it can be documented to a place where people can, any and everybody can see it whenever they want to, and it's always there. And that's the thing that I love about podcasting is it's documented. And so if you don't hear this episode today, you can hear it 50 years from now, 100 years from now, and it'll still be valuable to you. And that's what I like about the virtual type content that we have that's out there that's not in a live experience. And so I think that's pretty dope for the virtual setting. And because you can just connect with anyone that you never probably would have connected to that wasn't in a set geographical location at a set time. And so I think it definitely has its pros and cons. I definitely agree with you, Shireen, in regards to like when you're talking to someone in a virtual setting, you don't get to interact as much. You don't really get to know a whole bunch about them personality wise because all you get is text or all you get is
If
a
at all.
screen time. Right. And then they're just looking at you and might be talking to the screen and not even talking to you to interact and engage. So I definitely think it poses a challenge to build community virtually. And then in person, I think it's sometimes a challenge too, because now you have to work with schedules when times are convenient for someone to show up in a set place, in a set time, being able to, do all the things that you have that you would want to consist of in regards to an experience.
But one thing you mentioned about, like you said, music. I haven't seen too much music at live events. Like some of them, like maybe at the end, but depending on the event, I've seen a lot of smaller live events. What they do for networking is they play like networking games to break the ice, like icebreakers. Where it's not just music, not really music. They might play a little music in the beginning, but more so that you can start engaging with the people. So what I've been to maybe 3 or 4 events, and they've played networking bingo. And so they have the different cards, and you got to go around and try to find people to hit the cards, like hit the spots on the cards. But you don't actually get to know the person then, right? Because you're in such a rush to get the person across. Do you speak 5 languages? Have you ever climbed a mountain? Did you just start? Do you have a new business? Are you a podcaster? So you're going through the list real quick. But I know I'm going to an event on Saturday and they do have bingo. And I was speaking to the organizer saying, oh, is this turned the right way? Can't tell. Every time I look up, it looks weird. But I was speaking to the organizers saying the same thing, like you don't really get to network. But what they will do is the person who wins, they'll bring them on stage to say, I met Susie Q, and Susie Q has this business, or like I have no idea what's on the cards. But so there's ways that you can be more intentional to get to know the people, right? But yeah, I feel like it enables a lot. There's no excuse. Like virtual takes all excuses out of doing anything. That's the one thing we could get from the lockdowns is virtual everything. You could virtual anything, anywhere, right? Almost anywhere, I would assume. But I feel like nothing takes away from the live. Besides the fact that the live usually costs so much money. But I don't feel like anything takes away. The live experience will hit every time.
What are some of those activities that you found that you really enjoyed with in-person activities?
Right now, my head is all about the business. So it's finding new things. What I really enjoyed last week when I was in Washington was the headsets. So they had the headsets that are like the silent, like you've heard of those silent parties. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like, oh, I gotta grab me some headset and pull it up in the studio because I could have a podcast going on in here, and you could be listening, or you could be out there liming, like in in the lobby or in the other room. We could literally have anything going on and you could be anywhere and you don't have to be in this space. And as long as I have televisions out there, you can still tap in without being in the room and you don't have to interrupt anything. So I love it. I love it. I love it. And as long as the podcasters also have it on as well, it's not even disruptive, right? Like, so if anyone's listening and they're just like, everybody could be mingling out there, even if you're not listening. And it's just not disruptive. So it's like a great experience that two different parties can experience. And it doesn't take away from the conversation. We don't need to be quiet because the headphones got it on lock. Right. So for me, that was just learning, that was seeing, that was cool. And then, like I said, like I'm right now about the production side of things of the business. That's really where I'm tapped in right now. They had mics there that were not the greatest. And I
Mhm.
was working the event. So I had to tell people, like the speakers, to like hold the mic like this, because if you turn it this way, or you turn it this way, you turn it this, or if you're soft spoken, it wouldn't project well. So just being able to see what great equipment is out there, um, to enhance or not to use, was pretty cool for me as a studio owner. But I think that one of the best things for me was also just meeting other studio owners. But so to find out what other people are doing. But yeah, for me right now, when I go into an event, even if I'm not there to work it, I'm actually really paying attention to what's that equipment? What what are they using? And I'm taking pictures. Like I just can't help it right now. Yeah. What about you? What are you saying?
For me, in person, I absolutely like whole group activities. Like I like activities that get that you get to do, whether it's a game, whether it's a like
Mm,
painting with the twist, some type of whole group activity. I enjoy that in person experiences. Because everybody's engaged and we're all building some type like team building, team bonding, even
mhm,
relational. Like even when it comes to like painting with a twist, you might have come there with someone or your group of people to paint with the twist and everybody else is there. You're still being able to all do the same activity but do it your own way with people you know, and
mhm,
there's like this sense of community that kind of comes around it. So I like activities, whole group activities, for me would be like an awesome feature for in-person activities. For lives, well, for lives and for in-person activities, I like to be able to learn. So depending on what it is, like if it's a panel speaking or something like that, like I like to feel empowered in some way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it's from an educational aspect, an activity, but just that, like it could be a concert, you know what I mean? And I
mhm.
still want this feeling, this vibe of being there in person from the experience. So I'm definitely gonna go like some form of activity. Live, I mean in person, not in person, live virtual experiences.
Mhm,
I like to learn. I definitely like to learn, but I really like it when it's highly interactive and engaging, where they're asking questions and you're creating something, and it's a point where you don't just want to sit back and watch, like you really want to type in the comments, or you want to be able to get up and be on the screen too and ask this or that. Like I really like highly
mhm.
engaging interactive live experiences when they're virtual. Like I like that interaction and feedback, opportunity to dig a little deeper with insight. And I like when people mix the media. So it's not just a whole bunch of talking. It's also like maybe they throw a clip in here that's relevant to what it is that they're doing, or they show this. Like I'm somebody who likes different visual aspects and different like multimedia things that happen. So it's not just a flat line. Here you go. This is it. This is what you got. Here's the experience. Have a good one. You know.
So
Um,
it's funny you say that because you do mukbangs, and I can tell you that I see these seafood mukbangs on TikTok. They got a hold on me, and all I don't want to see. So I've seen different mukbangs, and I don't want to see people bringing on anything else besides that seafood. Show me the food. I just want to see you eat. And it's not that I want to see you eat, because that's what they're doing. I just want when that shrimp or that lobster dips in that sauce and they pull it up, and I'm like, and it's big and it's juicy and they're messy, and it's like the messiness should turn me off, but all I'm focused on is that sauce and that lobster, baby. And then they crack it, and I'm like, your hands are a mess, but damn, I could use some lobster right now. Like, damn, my mouth is watering as I'm speaking, because I did say at the beginning of this conversation that I'm really hungry. I have ate once for the
I think
day.
you started at thirsty because you called
I'm
it
thirsty and
thirsty,
hungry. Well, I've been
but
drinking water,
you
but
did say you were hungry too.
I'm both. I'm both. But I've seen mukbangs where they're talking, and I'm like, there's probably only one girl that I've watched that's talking that I'm interested in what she's saying, because she is telling a story, but hers is quite ridiculous because she's sitting in a car and she has like all kinds of big food, and it's like, girl, what you doing? But we found out later on that she's a chef. She's a chef, so she cooks all this food. It's ridiculous. She's, I try not to get my shirt dirty, and she's eating and she's just getting a mess. But besides that, I've watched other mukbangs where they're telling a story, and sometimes I'm just like, can you just eat and stop talking? So I do think, I say all of that to say, depending on the live, I don't want to hear, I don't want to see the slides and stuff. I do want to see it. I want to learn stuff, because I feel like that's majority of the time when you're on a live, you're going to learn something, you're going to pick up on something, right? But it depends on what it is. If I go to a conference and it's a live thing, I definitely want to see stuff. I want to see who the speakers are, what they're talking about. I sign up for things. I'm taking screenshots. I'm writing notes, all that jazz. But if I'm watching a mukbang, either that story is really good, or please just eat that food. Just eat. Show me the sauce.
Well, you got me on the crab
sure.
leg. It's not like my student. Like we were talking about seafood last week, and I was just telling her, "Oh my God, it's so good." I used to love crab legs. Like it used to be one of my favorite foods when I was younger. And I actually did my mukbang on these raw plant-based crab legs I made out of heart of palms on Tuesday. And I had it like cooked. I did Tap of the Browns recipe one time, or a spin of that one, and it was so good. And the sauce was so good, Shireen, too. And
But was it a lot of sauce, Giovanni? Was it a lot of sauce? Like, were you
the one I did on Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
No, because it's raw. That's what I was about to say. Like I didn't have a good garlic butter sauce because I don't know how to get that as a high raw plant-based, like on my journey. And so that was the one thing I felt like it was lacking, was that garlic butter sauce. Like, how do you get that? And that's what I cooked the heart of palms in when I made it plant-based and cooked almost a year ago, like Tap of the Brown style. But this time I didn't, and that's what I was telling my student. But I brought it for my student to taste, and she was like, "This is good sport." So it was a good first attempt of making crab legs, because that's what I wanted, and I was trying to remix it and stay committed to the high raw journey. But it was, how do I get that? What you're talking about, that sauce that pairs so well to the crab legs. Yeah, and so I ended up putting it on like lettuce wraps, and my mom was wrapping it in like rice paper and doing rolls with the lobster stuff on it, like the heart of palm, supposed to be crab leg vibes to it. But I gotta figure that part out, and I didn't want to like find a whole bunch of oils and then try to figure out how to flavor an oil to make it.
I mean, season that. I would say season that up, because the mukbangs, I don't know, like I want it, and not everybody's a sauce person. So I'm looking down because my computer's down here and my.
But the crab legs gotta have a good sauce. They gotta have a good sauce. Like I don't see them just eat
a sauce.
Yeah, they
give me a sauce, and I can't tell you. I don't really watch mukbangs, but I don't really watch mukbangs, but
sound like you do.
Nah, them crab, because TikTok, the algorithm, it's gonna keep bringing them back to me, and so until I get myself a good seafood broil, girl, you gotta have them sauce. So I think like when we talk about live experiences, obviously it's not
Depends
going to
on
be
the
the
theme.
same, right? It's not going to be the same, and it really just depends on what you're trying to get out of it, or if you're the one creating the live experience, what you're trying to show your customer. Because for you, if you're doing a mukbang, depending on the food, what are you trying to show your customer? If I watch a mukbang, I want that food to look so good that all I want to do is eat it. Like I just want to eat. Like you know what I mean? Because then what am I watching it for? I want to eat.
Agreed. And I think
I,
that's the whole purpose of me doing the mindful mukbangs was I wanted to be able to provide people with healthier options of things to enjoy, foods, experiences to have. So that way they're not eating a whole bunch of some of the other things we've seen mukbangers typically eat that doesn't really provide them with the functional nutrition to help them when it comes to like their overall well-being. And so that was the goal with it. And I do feel like some people have been inspired by it. They want to go check out that restaurant after I've had it. They looking to see what stuff is made out of. The raw pizza crust is made out of when I have my raw plant-based pizza, like different things. So I think it's been working like that. But I definitely am not where like how you are. The girl's watching, she got a good story. You ready to hear the story and just see her smash this whole platter of food. Like I have not gotten to
I
that
think I
level, and
think
maybe I won't. Maybe it'll be like a different vibe, which is
I was
okay.
gonna
But
I was gonna say I think that if you go, so the thing, what I think what captures us with her is this like ridiculously drastic. So if you were, hear me out, to
listening,
prep to prep your food for a week,
uh-huh.
but on your mukbang day, and you know that you are not going to eat all this food, but you just put that all on a platter in front of you, and you just like listen. And then I don't care if you need to do a sesame seed oil and put some seasonings up in that. Make that sauce drip. Make it drip, even if it's cold. Make it drip. Let it get on your fingers. Let it get on your shirt. And just be like, listen, I need to eat. And just make it ridiculous. Because I think the objective of a mukbang is to make the person who's watching want to eat too. It doesn't matter. I don't care if it's healthy, it's not healthy. That's for you guys to figure out. I don't care about none of that. I'm saying make that shit look so good that the person that's on the other side is like, "Whoo, wait, honey, you want to go get some sushi? We have any mushrooms to make some of this sauce this girl's eating? She put the recipe in the. Oh, look at her! Look at her! She's greedy. That look good though. Like, make it like that, So it's like so ridiculous. Make it like go watch some mukbangs, and if your tongue is not, if you're not hungry for it, like you're not like, oh Lord, then that's not the mukbang. Go back, watch some, and that feeling that you get, that's the feeling you want people to get. That's what I'm saying.
So live experiences, you want to tap into feelings.
Absolutely.
You definitely want to tap into feelings. I got you. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. For me, I don't know right now. I mean, I have a cooking show that I want to produce, and I didn't think about doing a mukbang to it. Just
So you're
getting
gonna
the
cook
food.
it and you're not gonna sit down and get the sauce and
No,
drip
no, we're
it.
gonna we're gonna eat, but we're gonna probably so we'll have a chef that cooks and plates and stuff like that, just kind of like a cooking show, and we'll have a live studio audience. But I'm actually thinking that I'm gonna try to create two shows out of one. So the cooking part is one, but when we're sitting and we're eating, then the conversation we're having does not need to be related to the cooking. Right? So now we have two different shows, even though we just filmed. Right? That's my thoughts.
I like it.
That's my thoughts. So, but I mean, if I'm eating by myself, am I mukbanging it?
You sure can. And you
I
talking
don't
about
know.
the experience.
I don't know if I'm mukbanging it. I know I'll probably eat like I'm mukbanging, but I don't know if I'm filming it.
Content. Don't sleep on the content. People might
I
want to
don't
see
even
that.
care. Give me listen. I see some of these people throwing down those seafood broils, and I'm like, where do you live? So I could just pull up.
I definitely don't want those vibes, but yeah.
No, just for the food. It looked good. It looked seasoned. But what other kind? So okay, so do you have any? Because we're talking about live experiences, and the reason we're talking about it is because we're talking about improving what we're doing or what we want to do. So mukbang, I know that's yours, right? Like, is there another type
Yeah,
of live
mukbang is
experience?
mine. And then you know how we met in person was the Empire Plates, Empire Lives networking dinner at the
Those
podcast
that is
event.
dope.
That was something that I really like. So I definitely love hiring
A chef.
Black plant-based chefs to create good food experiences
Mm-hmm.
for a set community of people. And so that was a networking event. I'm not quite sure exactly how I want that to go here locally because I did that around another event. So I don't know how I would create that for where I am now. And if I have that regularly, I would like that. There's two main places that I enjoy raw food from, restaurants that I enjoy raw food from, and it's starting to pick up momentum. I'm starting to see them do meal prep now and start offering different stuff. So I'm not exactly sure where or how, but I do want more of those types of experiences where people can just really enjoy the food, but we do some of those other things that I was talking about, other team building, bonding experiences, and even go ahead.
So why don't you just do a come eat with me? A come eat with me. And then just outline, come eat with me for 10.99, buy your food. We're gonna do some, so it's almost like all they gotta do is come and buy their own food, and you provide some activity, right? Come eat with me next week, Saturday. In 2 weeks, we're gonna go and eat. We're gonna try out. They got some new things on the menu, or they got things on the menu I've never tried. Come eat with me, whether you're raw, you're not raw. They have some vegetarian meals, some plant-based meals. Come eat with me, and we're gonna get to know each. So just call it a come eat with me, like networking event, and see who pulls up. And run it a couple of times. Run it every 2 months or something. I don't
Okay.
know why I'm playing with this thing.
And and do I not seek for interest in that first, or I just go do it and just see who shows up, or if I'm by myself, just eat?
Nah, that's you put it out there. I am thinking about doing a come eat with me. Who's interested? Who's interested? Or what you can start is oh, come cook with me. Cook from your house. We're going live virtual. This is the recipe. I'm gonna drop the recipe on Monday. You join the virtual. We're gonna do a mukbang where we all talk about did it turn out? Did it turn out? I gave you the recipe on the Monday. And we go. What day do you go live on your mukbangs? On Tuesdays? I give you the recipe on the Monday, or I give it to you on the Thursday or the Friday before the Tuesday. Go get your ingredients. We're gonna cook. It's not cooking. It's raw. We're gonna cut up those carrots and put that seasoning and put it in the sushi thing. And let's find out. Did it turn out? What's it taste like? Did you experiment with yours? And come eat with me virtually. And you could start that way. And that way you can see who's interested, right? And you get a couple of people eating with you, and it's live, it's virtual, right? And you don't have to do it live. You could close it up so it's only in the Zoom. Hey, Rovon, there's my videographer.
What up, Booty
What up, bro?
Russell?
What up? Yeah, so you could do it like that. You can do the come eat with me like that, and then after you do a couple of virtuals, then you can make it an actual live event. So you can test it out first.
Okay.
What are you saying, Rovan? You plan on eating some raw
Oh.
plant-based food? Would you eat? Would you give it a try? You could stay home. Giovanni gives the recipe. Would you try making it?
Or we just find a recipe and we all try it.
It doesn't matter how we get the
Yep,
recipe.
I like it.
You're gonna give it. So you're Giovanni. You giving the recipe, girl. You giving the recipe. You find it. Anybody finds it. You're still gonna give it, right? And then who. See, Rovan said he will try. And then you know what you do, Joe?
What
You
I
put
do,
it in your
Sharon.
listen, I'm dropping gems. You put it in your newsletter. What is the come eat with me recipe of the week? We're doing it twice a month. It's September. Come eat with me twice a month. I'm dropping two recipes on the Friday, like two recipes for the month. On the Friday, you got the recipe. Get your ingredients on the weekend. Don't flop. Don't flop. It's not gonna. We're gonna do five ingredients. Five ingredients. It's not hard. Two sauces. And if you want to cook yours, you cook yours. I'm not gonna judge you. But let's pull up and see what. Look. What's our shoot saying? Our shoot said, "I like the come eat with me only if the chef is giving me a free meal or discount for bringing a crew with me." No, it doesn't even have to be in person to start. Our shoot. It could just be virtual, and then eventually you could totally hit it up with the restaurant and get a discount, because then the restaurant benefits because you just pulled people in. And man, shit, what you could do is you do this for September and October, and then in November you pull up at the restaurant, or December you pull up at the restaurant, and they get like a holiday. Come eat with me, it's the holidays. We've been rocking with it for 3 months, and now it's the holidays and we want to eat together. It's like a, what do they call it,
Friends.
the friends Thanksgiving, right
Friends.
now. You see it, right? It's a holiday, friend and friend of who, and we're all gonna eat. Everybody wants to eat, right? So you just do it virtually just to build the audience, build the community, and then in December you hit them with the come meet me at the restaurant. The restaurant's giving 15% off your food, long as you spend over $25. Let's do it. Let's eat. And then you run that shit two more times, and in the springtime you run it live, and you run your own, and you bring your chef. And I just gave you that strategy for $9.99. Send me some money. I was gonna say drop your, what do you guys, how do you guys pass money? Through Cash App.
Oh,
We don't have Cash App. Somebody asked me, "Oh, you have Cash App?" I was like, "I'm in the US. I better go get one." So you can Cash App me. I just got PayPal, baby. Send me somebody with through your PayPal.
so how soon can we see the launching of the cooking show? Like, how long do we have to wait for the cooking show?
Honestly, I was supposed to be filming the pilot this week, but there was just none of it. And I see Ravon saying the Caribbean accent can't be suppressed over here. No, I could not pull it all together. I've just been so busy since I've been back. Um, so I got to figure out the pilot. I just got to figure out the pilot. I was trying to film on Monday that just passed, but I'm gonna pick a date in September, and I'd ideally like to film two episodes in one day because I'm gonna rent an Airbnb to do it. Right, so I'd like to, if I could get away with four, it would be ideal because I would rent the Airbnb for like 2 days, and then that. So basically, a season could be a pilot. I have a pilot season. I think that would be kind of cool still. And I found different chefs to come and join me already. So I'm
That's a
excited.
beautiful thing. So I already have the chefs.
Yeah, I already got the chefs. They're just waiting on me. They're just waiting on me. So that's that.
I like it. All right. Well, I think that was a good for live experiences. What you think?
I think that's good. I think there's some ideas there.
I
I
think
mean, if
so.
you guys have ideas, anybody listening, watching, or anything like that, or later on, if you're watching, if you have ideas or you've seen a really cool live experience, let us know what it looked like. So, we could figure out if it makes sense, and then we get to film it, and then you get to see it.
Agreed. Agreed.
Right?
You can also give us more insight on what you would like in regards to
Mhm.
this live experience since we show up every Thursday. What type of live experience would you like from us as we continue to build community for Herbal Tea Thursday, our wellness live series? So let us know what type of things you would like from us in regards to this live experience as well.
Yeah, let's
But
wrap this one up.
you know,
Sorry, go ahead.
you better check us out.
I am, because
Sounds
gotta
good.
figure out
Sounds
food.
good. Yeah, it's your healthy habits and lifestyle coach, Giovanni, and I help those with endometriosis and polycystic ovary syndrome reduce chronic pain, eliminate that distress, and minimize those irregular or heavy periods through my M to the third degree healing empowerment formula, mindset, mindful eating, and movement. Y'all, come by with me so I can support you on your healing journey and help you reverse those symptoms. In the description, I got my 8-week empowered wellness journal. Y'all go tap in and see how your life can be shifted and changed within 8 weeks by utilizing that journal with all the goodness inside of it. Start adopting some healthy habits today for the freezy in the description. Go ahead, tap in, and don't forget that the Empowered Place, Empowered Lives podcast, episode 51, dropped yesterday on Apple and Spotify podcast distribution platforms and YouTube. Make sure you subscribed.
All right. Well, I didn't drop no podcast. I haven't dropped a podcast. But if you want to find out about podcast metrics, because I've been finding out some fun metrics about podcasting, um, you want to tap into Perspective Studio Productions. Listen to this guy or this person. I'll shoot to get back to the challenges.
Oh, let's go!
We haven't done a challenge in a minute.
We haven't done a challenge since we went raw.
That was like however many weeks ago. But
Weeks or
okay,
months.
let's figure out offline what kind of challenge we want to do.
Or while we're thinking about it, y'all can tap in and leave comments if you're watching this live or the replay and tell us what challenges you would like us to do, because you're a part of this live experience and with us. So just let us know. We're not going to promise that we'll do them, but we will hear you out and love to hear what you have to say.
I don't know.
Come on with the challenges. I like that. Let's go.
I'm gonna say, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I can't guarantee. My life might not be set up the way you want the challenge to be. So you can make some suggestions, but we'll see. I have no promises at all. At all. That's not how I'm running it. But it's your girl Shireen Simon, the founder of Perspective Studio Productions. So if you need help producing your podcast, you want to produce a show, let us know. We are good with it. As well as Voices and Vibes is the podcast, Voices and Vibes with a Z. Listen in on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts, as well as Blackprint.com YouTube channel. And really, if you want to see some behind the scenes, you'll see that today and yesterday we went live, just setting up with our clients. You'll actually see Rovan and I. If you hear a man in the background or you see some man hands, it's probably Rovan's. He's usually helping me in the back end, fixing things up. But today you'll see I went live with the clients on my channel there, just getting them prepared for their live. And they had some grown folks conversation. So I think what I'll do is also go back to that live and drop their podcast so you can listen in on that conversation. So it's really good. And it's really, I can't remember how to say it, but it's basically about unmarried women. Yeah, unmarried women or married women. All kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. But it's a good conversation. And that's it, really. That's it. I'll shoot. We will figure out what challenge we might want to do as well offline and come back and let you know. But I like that you told us to come back to a challenge because it has been a minute since we've challenged ourselves.
And I think when we do it, it helps bring the wellness theme into what it is that we do. I know one of our most watched lives was the oiling of the belly button. I know people were really supporting us when we were getting ready to do a challenge before. And they were like, you got this, Shireen. Let's see. We can't wait to tap back in. So I do believe y'all love the challenges. And it might also be inspiring and empowering you to do some things too for your wellness that you never have done before to see how it works for you. So I like that.
The
Get
one
kind of
I
going back to our roots a little bit of how we started this thing.
Yeah, the one I really liked was the magnesium bath.
Oh,
And yeah, I really like that one. And I was actually thinking about getting in more magnesium. Like today I was thinking about like it's got to be normal because we're busy and we're tired and our energy's low and well for me, I can only speak for myself. Um and it's like okay, I need to get some more magnesium. So maybe that's one. I don't know. Giovanni and I will figure it out offline what we need.
I like it. I like it.
Mhm.
Good job. Oh, shoot.
All
Thank
right.
you for being an amazing member of our community.
Absolutely. I pulled one and I just realized we are at an hour. And I love the one that I pulled for us.
Okay.
It actually says begin. And it's so timely. So it does say painful endings often signify important new beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
I can't actually think about a painful ending. Um, I think if I just reflect on August, going into the month, I wanted it to be so busy that I was losing my mind. And I believe it was been so busy. You've seen me yawning it out on this call, on this live. So I believe it was so busy. And so now the next steps would be to begin to hire some help because that's literally all I'm thinking about is I could do more if I hire somebody. And then really, I so want to do the pilot for the cooking show because Giovanni, if you remember, I planned that over a year ago. When I
Yep.
met you, I gave you the apron
The
for the
apron.
show.
Exactly. You
I gave
did. You
you
was like, your mama, you got the apron. Oh, your mama got the shirt. You got the apron. You did.
Yeah, that was over a year ago. I gave you and I gave Donnie the apron a year ago. So this is something that has been sitting on me to do from a year ago. So it's time to get moving and just begin. Yeah.
Agree. I like it. I like
Mhm.
it.
All right, girl. That's it.
Let's
That's
get
all
it.
she wrote.
Let's go, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Herbal Tea Thursday. We love you. We're grateful for you. Check the links in our description to get that value. But most importantly, thanks for vibing with us, y'all. See you
Thanks,
next week.
everyone. See you next week, Thursday, for Thirsty Herbal Tea Thursday. Thirsty Thursdays. Bye. Oh, don't tell me I can't even hit the button. What is going on? I can't even hit the end button.
Well,
This
we're still
part,
here, guys. We thought we were gone.
at some point, it will end abruptly as we're speaking. But I am pressing the
Okay,
button.
well, come on,
What is going
Shane.
on?
I think it's gonna be dope though for the whole cooking show while we're waiting for it to drop because you're really getting into your production vibes, and so for you to actually
Mhm.
produce your own show,
Girl, I'm
that's
so
gonna be dope.
excited.
In addition to that, having like all the different equipment that you're getting,
Yeah.
those being like sponsors, ads, commercials within your production will be dope. And
Yeah.
since it's live, I'm not quite sure, but I also heard somebody else that's having a show he was talking about having vendors
Yep.
still like even though you typically think of like just a one-time conference or summit or something like that and having vendors when you have multiple episodes of a show or live tapings of a show you can still have those same vendors or other vendors tap in so there's so many different ways to get your show funded and to
Yeah.
promote the different products that's about it so I think that's going to be really really cool for you
I've
to have
even
that.
like bought plates. Like
Okay, so
two
let's
sets of plates.
play
Like
slash plan out when you're gonna start executing on some of this stuff. But it's just sitting
I
down
know
and
it comes
setting
down
the
to
calendar.
this. So all those things
Mhm,
have been planned, but it always comes down to
you
capital,
got it.
right? So things it depends on priority, but it always comes down to that.
Mhm,
I don't know. I cannot
you got
end
it.
this. I'm gonna try one more time. Hold on. If it
Okay.
ends, then bye. Hold on. Let's see.
Well, we already
Ah,
said bye.
it worked.
This is just behind the scenes.
It's about to. Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right. Bye.